Let's take a look at these rusted pennies. One example of a common chemical change could be sitting in your pocket right now, or maybe it's in the place where you keep pennies, like a piggy bank or a wallet or change purse. Study the following image and then select the statements below that are true. Which ones would be true here? Newer pennies appear dark in color, but become shiny after many people touch them. No, that's just the opposite, right? They start off really shiny and then they become really dark or dull after a lot of people touch them. So we're not going to click A. What about B? Oxygen reacts with the copper that coats the penny and produces a chemical reaction that dulls the penny. That sounds true. Let's click that one. How about this one? Copper pennies exposed to air produce a byproduct called copper oxide. That is actually true as well. Newer pennies are shiny, but once they are exposed to heat, they dull to a darker color. No. New pennies, it has nothing to do with being exposed to heat. How about this one? The photograph shows an example of a chemical change that happens very quickly. Do you think that happened very quickly? No, it took lots of time for that to happen. So let's check our answers. Yes, we were correct. Okay, let's move on. This is the part that we're doing today in class. So you can do this also at home if your parents give you permission to use some vinegar and some old dull pennies. If you place dull pennies in a bowl of vinegar, they become shiny again. This happens because the acid in the vinegar combines with the carbon dioxide that makes the pennies dull. Does this mean that the dull pennies did not actually undergo a chemical change in the first place? Support your claim using scientific evidence. Well, we know that a chemical change happened when it started rusting, right? So we would say something about how a chemical change happened when the pennies turned dull because a new substance formed, right? We also know another chemical change happened or will happen, because it hasn't happened fresh yet, will happen when they get clean with the vinegar. Last but not least, this is the part you're going to do. I want you to think about this. In the past, when engineers built homes, they used copper pipes. Drinking water flows through these pipes. In new homes, engineers use a different material. Based on what you know about copper and chemical changes, why do you think engineers stopped using copper pipes? Support your claim using scientific evidence. Hint, there is oxygen in drinking water. So think about what you know about pennies and what happens when the copper pennies are exposed to the oxygen for a long time. Okay, I want you to think about that, how the oxygen reacted with the copper that coated the penny and it produced that chemical reaction, that rust there. So think about that and let it help you come up with an answer of why you think engineers stopped using copper pipes. Go ahead and answer that in the discussion by clicking reply and then typing your answer. Make sure to read others after you submit yours.